That's fire. What is good, Vibe Gang? It is your boy, Elvis. We got two. I got another surprise for you today. We got two more. We got two more Elvis. We're going to listen to Joe Moscheo. I hate that I can't pronounce his name every time. He was one of Elvis' backup groups and for the, what was it, the Las Vegas? I think it was the Las Vegas gospel group of his. I think he was with him for like a couple of years. Am I getting that right? I think that's what it is. But I know I've seen the name a lot in my research that I do on my own. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Susie Q. Susie Q. Shout out to you for the dope. You are amazing. Everybody needs to give a big shout out to Susie Q. Everybody needs to put Susie Q fire. Susie Q is fire. The amount of love. Susie Q is in all my videos. Susie Q comments on all my videos. Susie Q is always pushing my stuff. She's always on my lives. She's always everywhere. Shout out to you, Susie Q. You're a real one. From the bottom of my heart. I sang a little. Leave me alone. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Joe Moscheo. Moscheo. I think I'm saying it right. It is on you.
Yeah, I know we're talking about love songs and which.
The Imperials, yeah, the Imperials.
Yeah, I know we're talking about love songs and which are obvious. You know, they're love songs to from a man to a woman, and it's about love and it's about passion. But Elvis took it further than that. I think in his mind, there are a lot of ways to express your love, and Elvis was very, very. He was very. When he loved and he was generous. He was very personal. If you'll notice, in if you saw That's the Way It Is, somebody was sick in the group, you know, and he came over to the girls and knelt down with them and asked about them. How's so and so doing, and how's she feeling, and is there anything I can do? He was so generous and so he had such compassion and feelings for his. If it was a friend. If it was, one of the family members, wow. You know how he was with his mother and his dad, how much he loved his mom and his dad. I mean, it was so obvious in everything that he did. But there's something that he did every year that I don't think a lot of people know about. And he never got any publicity on it because he didn't want it. But every year he took $100,000 at Christmas time. 100,000 is, a lot of money, but to him it didn't seem like a lot of money, obviously. And he would have like an open house at his house at Graceland. And if you came up and had a good story, I mean, he'd write you a check. I need $1,000 he'd write you a check for $1,000. I mean, it would be a.
Do you guys need any more information? You guys need any more information than that? These stories, they're starting to sound familiar. The stories are starting to sound familiar. It sounds like Elvis was a generous, humble human being that had a voice of an angel and looked like a Greek god.
I need $1,000 he'd write you a check for $1,000. I mean, it would be 1,000, or 5,000 to 10,000, and he gave to a lot of charities in Memphis. To the Boys Club or to the whatever, and he just wrote out checks, $100,000 every year, and gave the money away. And people knew this, so they'd start lining up, and he'd write them a check. It was just unbelievable. And honestly, nobody knew that. But I mean, don't you think that's love? I mean, this is love for your fellow man. This is love, compassion. And it's a different kind of love. But he felt it, and he had it. And he was so generous with us guys. I mean, you can't believe what the gifts he gave us and how much he would come in and he'd hug your neck and show a side of him that you never knew. I mean, I gave him a Bible one time, and he hugged me, and he pushed his forehead against mine, and he said, "This means so much to me." He probably had 100 Bibles, you know?
Oh my God.
I think that is a part of the love and
What it sounds like to me is that Elvis really liked the normalcy of the human race. The normalcy of just something as generous as giving somebody a Bible. But he treasured it because it was given out of love. So he wanted that normalcy, but it's hard because who he was. There was no way that this man was going to be this famous and not go through some famous people stuff, like become a seclusion and not want to come out and can't come out because there'll be a rampage of people trying to attack you. That's why when he's on stage, you can tell that that's his favorite part of everything. It's just being on that stage, enjoying the music.
100 Bibles, you know? I think that is a part of the love and this love story that with Elvis that I think is so important. To prove that how he cared for people, I'm a friend, on the periphery, really. But we were, this thing happened in Las Vegas probably in 1970. We were up in the suite after the second show when we were standing around the piano singing. It was probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And one of the bodyguards comes up to me. Sonny came up and whispered in my ear and said, "Your wife is on the phone." I said, "Well, that's strange. It's 3 o'clock in the morning." And my wife and my family, my children, my 4 children and my wife were back in a motel that we lived in when we were in Las Vegas, which is way off campus from where Elvis lived in the hotel. So anyway, we had a little apartment there, and the kids would go out in the summertime and enjoy Las Vegas in the summer. And so anyway, they were back in the hotel sleeping. But my wife called and said, "You need to come back because our house in Nashville has been broken into." Now, we're in Las Vegas. Our house in Nashville has been broken into. She's panicking. Imagine that they broke all the windows and stole everything. And so I didn't want to make a big scene because Elvis was there with his friends having a good time. And I told one of the guys, I said, "I need to go." So I snuck out the door, and I was standing at the elevator on the 30th floor at the penthouse. And there were 2 security guards there. And I was visiting with them while I was waiting for the elevator. And Elvis comes bursting out of his penthouse apartment there and says, "Moscheo, where are you going?" I said, "I have to go. I got a little family problem." What's the matter?" And by then, everybody that was in there is now out in the hallway, and they're surrounding. And I just, I got a little problem. "What is it?" "Well, my house back in Nashville has been broken into, and I'm going to go. My wife is crying and upset, and so I'm going to go see what's wrong." He said, "Well, I'm going with you." He said, "We're going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to take care of it for you." I said, "No, it's okay, really, Elvis. I got it covered." And the guys are panicking, because Elvis now, he's looking for some adventure. And so he starts giving everybody orders. "Get the plane ready. We're going to Nashville, and get my credentials and get my, and everybody get my coat." And so pretty soon everybody's reacting. And before you know it, I go down the elevator, and there's 4 white limousines out there. And Elvis and all his entourage go in these limousines. I'm driving my little car that I had rented, and I'm leading them to this little motel. It was embarrassing. I mean, really. And so my wife is in this little motel called the Valley High Motel in Las Vegas, if it could be any worse. And my kids are in another room sleeping. I thought they were sleeping. So we go down the alley behind the motel, and I showed them the way to go through like this little passageway, and we come around to our place, and I knock on the door. My wife answers. She's got her hair in rollers, you know, she's got her bathrobe on, and she can't believe that all these people are here. I mean, there's an entourage. There's like 20 people.
Oh my God.
And so we all pile into this.
My man Elvis was down to get down. Now, he ain't playing around. Get the plane ready. Jeremiah, get the plane ready. I want nothing but red Skittles in a bowl and some fizzy pop and Cheetos. We ready? Let's go. We gonna get down to the business. Down to business. He ain't playing around. Elvis was looking, like he said, I love the way he said that. Elvis was just looking for an adventure. He wanted to just be normal, bro. Like, he just wanted to just experience something that had nothing to do with any of this. And if they only let him live, man, let him live his life.
There's like 20 people. And so we all pile into this little motel room, living room, you know, cheap furniture. And I go, she can't believe, she's crying and very upset. Elvis hugs her. And he says, darling, don't worry, I'm here to take care of things. I mean, that's love, that's compassion. And he settles her down, and then he's telling Felton, who lived about a mile from me out there in the country in Franklin, Tennessee, he said, call us.
Damn right he calmed her down. Elvis Presley hugs anybody. There's no crying. There's no crying. Somebody, oh my God, my fish died. Ah, Elvis comes in here. Fuck that fish. Yeah, she calmed him down. Elvis got that power to bring you closer to his bosom and heal all your sadness.
About a mile from me out there in the country in Franklin, Tennessee, he said, call the sheriff out there and find out what happened. Give us a report. So Felton, this was way before cell phones. So, you know, he's on the phone, a landline, and he's trying to get the sheriff to find out what happened, give him a report. Meanwhile, the kids hear all this ruckus in this room, and they open the door slightly, and they're like stacked up looking out the door from the bedroom at Elvis, and he sees them. He goes in there with them, and I wish you could have seen him that night. It was unbelievable. He had on this leather coat with fur cuffs, and a fur collar, and of course his sunglasses and his big belt and a flashlight about 3 feet long. He had all this, you know, stuff, but it was Elvis, you know. And the kids saw him, they just couldn't believe it. Well, he saw them and went into their bedroom and sat on the bed with these kids. And he started talking to them. And he said, look, I know you know, we're here because your house in Tennessee has been broken into. And he said, I just want to tell you, if they took your bicycles or any of your toys or anything that you loved and you know that was really your favorite, you let me know. Write me a note. Let me know. And he said, I'll replace it better than what you had. I promise you that. And okay. And he said, wow. Okay. And yeah, they said okay. And he patted them or whatever. And they, you know, he just left them in the bedroom. They still talk about it. Now, you know, the kids are in their 40s and 50s, and they're still talking about Elvis coming into their bedroom that night. To me,
wow,
that's love.
That's
I mean, that's the real deal, and that's what love songs are about. It's about touching people, touching hearts, and making an impression, a lasting, lifelong impression on people.
Absolutely.
That's a love song.
Absolutely, sir. I concur and agree with everything that you had said in this whole entire video. Look at the heart, ladies and gentlemen. That is so dope. Elvis was different, man. Elvis was a different type of being. And I love doing these because so I can help show the positive side of Elvis. There's too much negative on this man's name for years now. Let's throw some light to the positivity of this man. This man was an angel on earth, and that's a fact. And we got one more Elvis coming right after this one. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Federico, we are out of here. I love all of yous. I'm going to talk to you guys in a minute. Peace.
Perfect.